Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug episode 215 on Monday, the Christmas Eve of 2012. I am your host Stephen Layton and today we have a blend, but not just any blend, our Christmas filter blend. Something that's been a bit of a tradition, and I know that every Christmas we've kind of done this with In My Mugs for the past 3 years where we've sent out this one and you seem to like it. I know you've got two packs, one pack for next week, one pack for this week because we're closed down. But yes, I hope that that's okay with you all. But we're going to have a week off. We need some time at home. It's been a busy month. But let's dive into the news. This time of year, I worry about Christmas. Who's going to save it? I think, you kind of look at what's happening in the news, there's not a lot going on, but apart from Christmas. And Christmas is a danger. So, here's how has been saved Christmas. Let me explain. Hello everybody and welcome to In My Mug. And today, I'm going to tell you a story. So, pull up a coffee. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, there was a boy called... That's how has been saved Christmas. Now do remember, boys and girls, Christmas is too short for bad coffee. I don't think any news can top that. So that was the news. I think that's as big as it gets. Don't know what you think, but I hope you enjoyed that little bit of fun. It's become a bit of a tradition that we do a Christmas card every year, and that was our Christmas card. But now it's time for 20 seconds on, and this week it's going to be on the Christmas blends. Let's get this on. God, 20 seconds on Christmas blends. And we're off. So, the Christmas blend started back in 2003, just as Has Been did, and it's become a tradition that we do every year. The reason for the bags, the red and green long bags, but these were the first bags that we ever used when we used to have the coffee shop based in Stafford. It's become a little bit of a tradition. The early blends were a little bit random, but since 2005 I've tried to capture the taste of Christmas with the filter blend. I managed 20 seconds, how did that happen? So the filter blends, I've always tried to capture the kind of citrusy, kind of puddingy side of Christmas, whereas the espresso has always tried to kind of get the more spicy, kind of bigger, chocolatey notes. So yeah, that's the Christmas blends. I really love our Christmas blends. I really love the bags, because the bags take me back to being in my garage at home, filling and sealing bags, and it just reminds me of kind of where we came from and where we're going to. I know they're not resealable, but it's only once a year, so you just have to humour me while I do that craziness. While I'm on the table, cards that people have sent us, In My Mug subscribers and people, so thank you very, very much. And and this is a little bit special. So this was a present given to me yesterday by the guys who help us with the video stuff and things like that, and it is the best thing ever. It's top trumps for Has Been. I'll put some pictures on the screen of some of the cards so you can kind of get a feel for what they've done, but it's amazing. They know us way too well. It's a little bit scary. So I know that the boys watch these every week to make sure I do my editing properly. So thank you guys. Like, honestly, I said to you yesterday when you gave them to me, but I'm going to say it today. It's the best present I've ever had. So yeah, it really, really was very touching. Anyway, let's talk about coffee, because we're here to talk about coffee, and I want this to be a quick one. So, Christmas blends. Start with a filter blend, of course, because that's the one that we're going to be doing this week. I'm not sure when something becomes a tradition, but 8 years on, I feel that it is a tradition now. We only make them available for the month of December, and we try and encapsulate Christmas. We only offer them as roasted beans, which I think is really cool. Just because, like, we don't insist on it very often, but it's nice. And these packs being not sealable, so we can grind them and then heat seal them, just rules it out. But it's nice for the staff to not have to worry about, like, you know, getting things wrong and what have you. So how is the blend made up? Well, 50% of it you'll notice is big beans, and that's the Limoncello Pacamara washed. And from that, what you get is like a lemon pithy kind of, and I put the descriptor of hops, so like a really kind of hoppy craft ale. Reminds me very, very much of something like Brewdog Punk IPA or something like that. But it also has this kind of creamy edge to it and a sweetness that, again, lemon, sweetness, things like that remind me very, very much of Christmas. And then the other 50% is one of my favourite coffees. It's definitely going to feature in the top 10 this year. Top 10's coming next week, by the way. Top 10. I'll talk about top 10 after. But very sweet. It's very, very honey-like, and little hints of red fruit, so like raspberries and stuff like that. And again, fruit and honey and sweetness just remind me really, really very much of that whole Christmas kind of experience. So because it's a blend this week, we have no matte bit, but what we do have is we have the Snowflake bit. It's the Snowflake, no expense spent, it's a Snowflake. So the Snowflake bit was sent in to us by Martin Dimitrov. I'm sure I've pronounced it wrong somehow because I've pronounced it twice. But Martin sent us this lovely thing in that he's made as a Christmas decoration for his tree at home. And you can just see in the centre, it says a has-been bag. Very, very creative. And there's more creativeness to come when we do the pinboard of doom. But thank you, Martin. That's awesome. It's the Snowflake. No expense spent, it's a Snowflake. I wonder what amazing fact Roland will have for us this week. He continues to be bright like a big star in the sky that shepherds might follow.
Roland's daft fact of the week.
So, why do people blend? Well, that's a very good question. But the majority of people will tell you that a blend gives you a more balanced and more interesting and more complete cup of coffee. And I tend to agree. The same happens in whiskey. That's why you find single malts and you also find blended whiskies. I myself like blends sometimes, but also enjoy single origin others. I think that it's good to appreciate both.
Roland's daft fact of the week.
And I think those are very wise words. And me and Roland share the very similar philosophy on blends. They have their place. They are amazing sometimes. And they are a more consistent, rounded, more complete cup. Single origins can sometimes be a little one-dimensional. But, you know, I enjoy them. I think both have their place. And it's nice that we're doing a blend here. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about blends. And there's more to come in the new year with that. But blends, I think, can be super interesting as well. So I'm going to whap you on pause. I'm going to go and make a tasty, delicious drink. There's no Wheel of Death this week. And the reason for no Wheel of Death is I'm not moving the cart. The reason for no Wheel of Death this week is this is a filter blend. Don't want to mess about with it. I really want to enjoy this filter. Now, will it work as espresso? God, yes. Look at what's in there. There's a coffee in there that came third in the World Barista Championships, and there's a coffee in there that's been used in umpteen espresso blends. I think it's actually part of Jailbreak now. Like, so this will work as a blend, as an espresso blend. But I don't want to do that this week. I'm just going to have a filter blend. So I'm going to go off, I'm going to make a filter drink, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, so we're back. Used a rather interesting brewer today. It's another thing by Kalita. Let me just take the paper out. It's a little like the brewer that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. Apart from this one, when you're finished, you just go, and it folds flat. How clever is that? So we're going to be, okay, I guess it's not that clever, but it's fun. I like it. It's something different again, and I like different brewers. So we're going to be putting those on the site in the next couple of weeks. Very excited about sharing them. So only the filter one this time. Look, this is my mug with Fat Steve on it. We like Fat Steve. He was very jolly. Yeah, it's okay. It's an in-has-been joke. You got to remember, we've broken up for Christmas. I feel like I'm on my school holidays and I've got all giddy. So let's dive into the coffee. So what I wanted this coffee to do is take you to Christmas. Take you to those sugared lemons. You know, they kind of, I don't know if you remember them as, like, I remember always being in our house as a kid, we have a big bowl of nuts and like these sugared lemons. And I'm getting that sugared lemon because it's pithy, it's lemony, it's hoppy. You can taste the hops. I'm convinced this has a hop taste to it. And no. Then also, you kind of get that sweetness coming through. You get a little bit of that like raspberry flavour coming through. And I'm almost kind of convinced I'm tasting raspberry pavlova again, taking me back to Christmas. And that's what I think this blend, for me, it hits my buttons. It may not hit yours, but if it doesn't, I hope you just think it's a delicious filter coffee anyway, because it's using two of the finest coffees that we've got this year. Like, Limoncello knocked it out the park this year. Like, amazing coffee. And then, you know, all of them, all of the Pacamaras have been stunning. And then Licho's been with us since 2007, and every year it gets better. In fact, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to Licho. I'm going to go and spend I think I've got 3 days in Costa Rica, but I really want to spend the majority of the time at Licho, just because I'm so interested to see how they keep getting better and what they're doing. So hopefully I'll have some video and stuff from there for in the next couple of weeks. But I really like that. We should do the Pinboard of Doom. Oh, that is delicious. So, Pinboard of Doom, you've already seen Martin's, which I'll show on the screen again now. But I like to think that Martin's been inspired a little bit by what Sally does, and Sally made me this a few weeks back, and if you look on the back wall, you'll see there's a new addition on the back wall, which is the a card that she made us. But she sent me this, that she's been making Christmas decorations out of bags and been using them outside because they're foil. She can use them outside and they're waterproof, and she's got them on her Christmas tree outside. And also a little has-been tea lantern, which I think it's just cool. I really like that Sally does all these things, and of course Bob. We can't forget the little Bob. But Sally does all of these things with the bags, and she's an In My Mug subscriber and viewer, and one of the most loveliest people. So, and she's always contributing stuff, and I know that we've talked about her a few times on here, but that's just because everything she does is so amazing. So, thank you, Sally. That was the Pinboard of Doom. Now it's time for Descriptor Scale. Oh, I'm stopping. I'm not carrying on.
Descriptor Scale.
So Descriptor Scale this week comes in from Seth Taylor, and it says, great cup, big multi-flavour, clean and sweet. A hint of chocolate with an acidity that reminds me of blueberry that's not quite ripe. Delicious. Seth, love that. I think you may have won a Descriptor Scale in the past, but you have a second badge, so drop me an email and we'll send that badge out to you. Yeah, and thank you very much for that. And that was Descriptor Scale. And now, it's time for the staff clip. This week's staff clip is coming from Dale Harris, who he runs my wholesale. He makes sure that the coffee shops that we supply are looked after and serviced well, and does training and all those things. And anybody who's coming to the training is going to get to meet Dale in the next couple of weeks. Dale's a special guy. So over to you, Dale.
Another of Dale's barista tips.
So this week I've received a letter Let me open the letter. It's quite difficult holding your head and opening the letter though, you know. I'm going to open the letter and let's see who it's from. Oh, it seems to be blank. Oh no, look, there's writing on the inside. It says, "Dear Dale, how do I rest coffee for how long? Yours, James Hoff-Windlebow." Oh, okay, well, James Hoff-Windlebow, what you do is you really need to try the coffee fresh and see how it tastes to you. But most coffees will need about 3 to 5 days so the gases are gone and the crema is less bubbly and less effervescent. But sometimes some people like fresh coffee, so you should try it. That's my tip of the week.
Another of Dale's barista tips.
Thank you, Dale, and thank you, James Hoff-Windlebow. That's very kind of you to send a letter in to Dale. Resting coffee is an interesting and complex subject, but the general rule is kind of most people say 3 to 7 days from roast for the coffee to calm down and degas. But for me, I love fresh coffee, particularly brewed, but even in espresso, I think in espresso that effervescence can be super interesting. So yeah, that's a very good question and a very good answer from our lovely Dale. That's it. I'm going home. I'm going to go and eat Christmas mince pies and sing carols and put up the Christmas tree and keep reciting to myself over and over again, life is too short for bad coffee. Merry Christmas.